Now, having said that, next one. Yeah, he's waiting. So yeah, now I'm just gonna go on to that beautiful Toyota Evo. I'm just gonna fix it quick for my friend, which needed to give it to his sister. So I definitely want to do a good job on that car. Okay. So this is the next time. Oh, that's a straight wheel. Not sure what happened here, but yeah. Oh well. Let's do it. Whoa. Oh, it's cold, guys. Anyway, we gotta get on because we have to clear this one now. This is the most important, needs to go. So we'll clear that one. Then I promise we'll go back to the minis, and then we'll go back to my jack. And sooner or later, we'll get to see what's inside there. I'll show you, because all of this you see right now, all these cars, all the work that I'm doing, all the videos, everything that I'm doing right now to share with you guys, it's because of what is inside that tent. That was my first motivation as to why I thought of start doing it, because I was not going to do it. But first, let's fix this. Better light. First, let's fix this. So I'm going to give you a quick walk around on this Toyota Aygo, which I said previously belongs to one of the followers, but most importantly is one of my close mates. And sadly, his sister had an accident. You know, the road was frozen. It was not her fault. And we know in London, sometimes roads get gritted, sometimes they don't. Sadly, she slid off the road at low speed. Don't think these cars can go at too much speed otherwise. But yeah, and you can see that it's been substantially damaged on the side. This has definitely clocked out early. He left work. It was not even a Friday. He just left it. He should have been facing this way, not backwards. Yeah, this crash bar. I seen the accident. I'll show you the photos on top, but I doubt this accident caused this, only because of the amount of rust as well, because this happened maybe 2 weeks ago, and not a chance that this would have happened within 2 weeks. Not a chance. But I could be wrong, but I doubt. So what it looks like is like the car had previously had an accident, has been sold, not registered, with our cat, and it's been sold. Obviously, you will never know that happened because you're not going to remove the bumper and the front of the car to see if anything is wrong with the car, because you assume the car is good. So, still got some wipers fluid inside. Now, this is inside the car. No airbags came up. Thank God for that, which is good. We don't need the airbags, but what I need is to align the wheel. So this is the wheel, perfectly aligned. Yep, you would say. Perfectly. Now, this wheel, you'll be aligned anyway at the end. I'll see if I've got enough time, I'll do it myself. If not, I'll send to one of the local mechanics to do it. But let's try to do everything indoors. This is perfectly straight, as you can see. Now, as we move to this side here, yeah, this wheel, I'm gonna say, it should have been pointing the same way as my foot, and it's not. So that wheel, I'm assuming, clocked out in the same time this part here is clocked out too. So yeah, so we're gonna look into it. We'll fix that. First, I'm gonna start from the bottom. I've got this lower bar here, which suffered an impact. And once again, looking at the photos of the accident, it doesn't look like it came from this first impact. It looks like that bar has been damaged the same time as this one. but we've got both parts anyway. We're just gonna change them, and the reason why I'm changing them is because I don't think the car structurally moved. So this is a, they put it as a S cut, which in my opinion is not S cut. Is barely an cut. You know, is if the crash bar is there and the side panel is gone, literally nothing else has seemed to be moved. But obviously, the insurance, I understand, they need to claim the money. They need to do their job. But yeah, and the only structural part, which is not really structural, it's this bar here. Wishbone has bent. Can you see it? The wishbone went to the same party as the side panel and the wheel. But yeah, you can see here, I'll show you when I remove it. But yeah, the wishbone has kinked in here, where I'm assuming which was the part which hit mostly the wall. And apart from that, everything seems to be okay. This, I doubt, is any problem with the suspension. But let's see. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna start removing bit by bit, see what's what, because you never know, you might find something else that you cannot see or it's not meant to be there. So let's go. Let's start this new journey. Let's call it the Aygo. I go, you go, everybody goes. Let's go. Okay, so first we're gonna remove the subframe support, which is holding the radiator. That's all it does, mostly. Well, actually, in fact, no, it's kind of a support for the frame. It's a support for the frame, but the radiator rests on it. On this one here, you can see it's gone. So yeah, got a new one, different color. Doesn't really matter. No one ever gonna see that. But if it was something you would see, I'll definitely will paint it. But in this case, it's held by 3 bolts, which are these 3 here. You can see them right there. 1, 2, 3, which correspond to these 3. 1, 2, 3, and those 3 over there. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. They're a bit rusty, so what I'm gonna wire brush them a little bit first, just so I can remove some of the rust, so it's easy to come out, because I do not want to buy new ones. So I'm gonna put you here so you can see what I'm doing. And yes, you do want to wire brush them from the heads where you're gonna screw them from, because that's the main reason why you round them. A big mistake that I usually see people doing is, which will cause this bolt to break. So I did put WD-40, similar to it, but if I keep on spinning to undo the bolt, what's gonna happen? Some of the rust is gonna stay on the threads, and I'm gonna apply so much force on it that's gonna hit it up, and eventually that ball will snap, because there's too much material on that thread that won't allow the bolt to come out. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna undo it, undo 1, bring it back, undo 2, bring it back 1, undo 3, bring it back 1, and eventually the bolt will come out without getting snapped. So I will undo 1, 2, 3, turn it the other way around, bring it back up until it's locked. Now it's locked. Now I'll bring it back down again, and the moment I feel it's getting tighter, I will stop, because I do not need that resistance. Okay, it's getting harder now. Bring it back up again. It's a long process, but unless you want to buy new bolts all the time, go for it. I wouldn't. And finally, it's getting tight. Now it's way too tight, so bringing all the way up again. There we go. Much easier. And now that's fully up. I usually would do the same thing for all the boats. Get my brush. So I've got 3 bolts. Not perfect, they look good. But until I order new ones, I will install the new subframe support for the radiator until I get the new bolts. And once I get the new bolts, I just swap them, and that's it. And as you can see, they're exactly the same. They don't look the same because this one has been crushed, but as you can see, they're exactly the same. Okay, let's go install this one now. That'll be our first measurements as where that radiator should be. Hello everyone, it's another amazing day in UK, and yeah, it's raining, so today we're gonna improvise a little bit, and what we're gonna have to do is, as you can see, some misalignment here. The radiator traveled a little bit down with the impact, so I'm gonna, in order for me to put this bracket here, this under tray support, I will have to raise the radiator a little bit. But in order to raise the radiator a little bit, I'm gonna have to stretch the car slightly out, because I'll show you what's going on. If you watch the latch, it should be exactly in the middle, and we're not. So that's how much it traveled out. Look, it's really bad. It's right. It needs to move at least 1 to 2 centimeters into the middle of the bonnet latch. So in order to latch perfectly, it needs to move about 2 centimeters forward, as in outwards. Because, yeah, you see, it needs to be about here. That's how much this needs to travel. Also, this is tilting in, so it needs to be flat. You see, it's bent, so it looks like it's in the middle, but I think this is being forced in a little bit just so it latches out, so it can reach the loop of the bonnet. But yeah, the bonnet's got small damage here, which I'll fix that. But first of all, I'm gonna remove this tracker because it doesn't need to be here. I think a new one will be installed after either ways. But let's go and stretch this baby a little bit. I'm just gonna disconnect this bolt here, which is attached to the AC hoses. I don't want to pull them as I'm moving this forward. I don't want to stress them too much because I think they got already enough stress, but also they're limited from movement right here because this is touching because of the old impact that was there. Because of course with the accident, as you've seen in the photos, the impact was from this side and not a directly front impact. So I'm not gonna disconnect the crash bar just yet as I'm stretching the car, because I don't want the car to go all over the place and give me a false reading. So within reason, I want to stretch it while it's still attached to it. If I release this out, this could go anywhere, could go outwards, which mostly will like, go to the left. But if I stretch it the way that it is and I find the perfect place, then I can just install the new one, which I've got in the boot.